everyone. I have finally finished my camera rig that I built. Finished product now. I finally set it up to where it sits to my body and everything. I added a few pieces of hardware to it here, and here for the mounting the camera to. It sits on your shoulders like so. As you can see, as you could also see in my previous videos. Just like that. I could totally let go as well if I chose to. Now if you're using a high-end camera such as the new T2i or the T3i, I'm sorry, or the T4i, the high-end cameras, I wouldn't recommend letting go. Now if you're smaller cameras like a little simple point and shoot and all that, that would be alright. Also want to show you a few things alterations that I've done to this since my previous videos. The previous videos were prototypes, of course, but I made a few alterations. So technically your camera would be sitting right here in front of you. Right here at eyes level and everything, and you can adjust it however you want accordingly. Plus not only that, it gives you both hands free, while it balances right here on this little bar. Sits on your chest like so, and all that. Now before I show you the alterations and the extra stuff that you can put on this rig, I want to go into a little bit of an explanation why I built this. You get more function and control out of it with it being both set perfectly on both shoulders instead of just one. 2, if your arms get tired or whatever, you can let go of it for a little while and let it perfectly bounce on your chest and your back just for a few moments. There's one out there called the Settle Rig. It comes out here, sits here on your shoulder, your side, and right about here. Other thing is the arm that for your camera sits out only comes out about, maybe 4 or 5 inches away from your chest. Be a lot right about here around your nose, give or take. 2 things that I think there's flaws with that. One is, what if the camera operator is female and it sits here, here, and here? You know how rude and inappropriate that is if you're a female? But anyhow, the other thing, the drawback is, with that arm for your camera to sit on, it only comes about 4 or 5 inches away from your face, is you're going to be like there, right here, like this, or out here. Your arms are going to be crunched up and pinched and all that and everything else. You could probably let go of it. I said before, if you're using a high-end camera, I wouldn't recommend it. There's another rig out there called the Big Rig. It's a big circle, round wheel, steering wheel, built by Mike Figgis, if my memory's correct. It's a big circle right here, and you'll hold it right here. Again, your arms are going to get tired after a while, especially when you add your microphone, your light, your external video monitor, so on and so forth. That thing is going to get heavy after a while. You're not going to be able to hold it like you want to. Tired, and you're not going to be able to get certain camera angles like you want. Glide cam. Now the glide cam sits on a bobblehead type deal thing, like your bobblehead toys and all that. You know, when the head bounces around like a yo-yo or whatever you want to call it. But after a while, again, your wrist is going to get cramped up and hurting after a while. Other thing is, on a lot of those rigs and that is, what if you're left-handed? See, a lot of people don't take that into consideration. A lot of your cameras are built for right-handed people because that's the standard. Now you got some of your cameras that have the flip-out monitor and they can use their left hand to control the screen and all that, so on and so forth. But again, if you're using, let's say you're right-handed, you're dominant right hand, and you're going like this, you know, steadying your camera and all that, so on and so forth, how are you going to zoom in? Yeah, you would have to use your left hand and go hit the zoom button on the top and the side, or switch hands or whatever, and then say you're not very steady or whatever, you're very wobbly and shaky and all that. So when I built this rig, I eliminated all that stuff. I got a couple extra PVC pipes. Oh, this is all made out of PVC piping and tubing, by the way. I've got a couple of PVC pipes here that I made for extensions. Put 2 in here like so. Got some additional fittings there. Now you can add your extra monitor, your shotgun mic, and so on and so forth. You can add in your extra light and all that. If you go back and look at one of my other videos, I show you how to make a pistol grip. You take a PVC end cap and a 3/4 inch bolt, hex bolt that I found. If you go back to that, you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyhow, this is what I made. I don't know how well you can see it or not. And then I made my own version of a shotgun mic mount. Now I took a piece of, I believe this is a 2.5 inch black PVC pipe. I drilled a 3/4 inch hole in it and tapped it. And I take my cap that I made with the 3/4 inch bolt and I just screw it in like so. There's that. I made a couple of slots in the rig and I took some rubber bands and everything and all that. And there's that. And I take another additional little scrap piece, maybe 1 inch, 1.5 inch piece of PVC pipe, and I put it in the bottom of the cap like that. Then I add it to there, like so. Now I have another one modified for my light, but I'm using my light over here to light up my setup right now and everything. So the best part is, now you wanted to know about the fig rig part. Very carefully, but allow me to show you. Take it off like so. Simply pull it apart. That down. And now you have a portable fig rig. Now you can adjust the size and the depth and everything that you need or want for the typical size of camera you have. I made it so high and everything is in case you had like I said, a Canon T2i or a Canon T3i, 4i, or whatever they got now. And that's how you do that. And just so you can see the shotgun mic mount that I made, I'll even throw in a little piece of scrap inside there. I don't know how well you could see that. And it sits in there just like so. Well, just like if you had a shotgun mic. No. Take it apart. And you can adjust this to any specification you need. I have a smaller piece of pipe here that I'm going to show you. I'll put it in here. Take out the other pieces. And now I can just mount my camera or shotgun mic, light, whatever, like so, and have my camera sitting right here. The reason why I made this is because 1, it's durable. 2, there you get more function out of it. 3, it's a cheap alternative. 4, you can make this part of the rig in any shape or design you want to suit your needs. And on this here, you could even take and put in a smaller piece of pipe like so and shorten up the distance in it and make it even lighter if you wish. Okay, now if you guys would like something like this or would like to purchase one, I can help you with that. That's entirely up to you. But I did this for me because the cost of some of the professional rigs that are out there is just way beyond my budget. So I made this as a cheap alternative. When I first designed this, I did not have any thumb screws here or here because these would collapse, or I could just take this piece out and I could just collapse this like so. It would just fold up and it'd be easy to transport, and it's extremely lightweight. Now Some of you are asking, what about weight? I learned something the hard way, and I almost broke my camera by doing this. When this whole thing, I had it all put together like this. Now mind you, I did not have any hardware or brackets in it or anything stuck in place, such as these screws to keep it from folding and collapsing on itself. And I had it on like so. Put my centerpiece back on here, and I noticed there was a lot of weight here in the front. I was walking along outside, and it was very hilly and bumpy. I about lost my balance and busted my camera, but when I was holding it like so, I gently let go like this as I was walking along, not realizing what was going on, the weight pulled me forward, tremendously pulled me forward. And I noticed the more I kept adding like if I added the other light, a bigger camera, the weight was going to pull me forward. What I did was, on this part and this part, to keep it from folding in on itself like this, once I got it all set in position where I wanted it, here and in the back part, how I wanted to set on my shoulders and everything, I took a black magic marker and mark where I needed to put the thumb screws to lock everything in place so it would not move or come unclosed or open while I was filming. Now, also, back to the weight problem is, what I did was I cut a little hole here in the back of my foam padding, and I took a long 3/4 inch bolt and some hardware, wing nuts, washers and all that, and helped balance the weight of everything. So if all the weight was right here and it kept going like this, I put some weights back here to balance it out. Now, I'm going to recommend this. I weighed how much the camera, the light, and everything weighed first. I took the weight of this, with the exception of the centerpiece out. Took the centerpiece out and I weighed this. Whatever weight it did not equal to the front of this, I added to the back of this. Made it more balanced and easier to do. So the more weight you have in the front, the amount of weight you have in the front, you want the equal amount of weight in the back, because this way it will keep it more at a constant balance. Oh, granted, you'll have to use your hands and all that to help keep it more regularly balanced and everything else. With the shoulder parts is why I got these, because on your normal shoulder rigs, it's just on one shoulder. I use two. After a while, all that weight on one shoulder is really going to put some pressure and weight and hard on your collarbone and your shoulder blades and all that. I did it on two, on both shoulders, to divvy the weight evenly overall. Another reason why I'm saying put equal amount of weight on the back. That way it doesn't bother you. You'll feel more comfortable. Also, let's say you've been filming for anywhere from 8 to 16 hours a day, depending on what your film is or video, so on and so forth. You can take the thing off right away as quickly as you need to. Let's say you need to use the restroom, or just throw the thing off as quickly as you possibly can and go use the restroom, come back, put it back on your shoulders, ta-da, and you're good to go. Now, professional camera rigs that have the vest and everything and all that, got to use the restroom really bad after filming for, say, 12 hours. Okay, you have to have somebody else help you get you out of that vest. Take the camera off, take the arms off, then take the vest off, and go use the bathroom, and come back, put the vest on, put the arms back on, put the camera back on. And that can usually take you about an hour, depending on what kind of camera equipment you have. But if you're like me and can't not afford that kind of equipment or setup, this is a cheap alternative, especially when you're trying to travel. You can break it down real nice and easy and make it easier to transport to where you need to go. You can totally tear it apart. You can also, if you be patient with me here, I'll take the screws out to show you what I'm talking about, folding it up and everything. And as you can see, I can now close it. See? I can close it, open it back up. Take my thumb screws, line up my holes again, put my thumb screws in. Now it's perfectly locked in place. The same thing with this piece, center piece right here. I did the same thing with thumb screws, and where this could also be collapsed and all that, and you can take it apart and easy to transport. Please hit the like button if you liked this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Some other ideas that I come up with PVC pipe or cheap alternatives for your camera rigs and that. You go down into the description below. I put my Facebook page that you can go and see some pictures and developments that I made with that and some other products that I've been working on. Thank you for your time, and I hope it was something you can enjoy and use.